Hello and welcome to the Dr. Phenomenon's LEP Frequency Toolbox program. I am your host, Dr. Phenomenon, and today's topic as it relates to the LEP Frequency Tool is hate. If you had not caught the previous segments, please go back to the Dr. Phenomenon's YouTube channel, hit like and subscribe after you've watched them, and also on podcast Podbean. Please follow me. There's always additional information. Everything, all of the segments that you will see, you will need to add to build your own LEP frequency tool so that you can start using that tool to create the future that you want to face. If you want to identify where your personal frequencies are right now, assessments and supplements, as well as detailed information as to how to use the LEP frequency tool can be found in the Only Good Comes to Me book at www.lepeducation.com. Again, that was www.lepeducation.com. This book includes all of the assessments, supplements that will assist you to identify your personal frequencies and teach you how to use the tool to use energies on a mental, emotional, physical, sensory, and spiritual levels to be able to raise your collective overall vibration, to lift your frequencies, to increase them so that you can vibrate at higher frequencies and have greater powers, which of course include a greater expansion of consciousness. So for today's topic, we need to really talk about hate. So what is hate? Hate is a mental and emotional attitude or a belief system. Simply put, it's an intense dislike of someone or something. Hate is often associated with feelings of anger. It's really a form of generalized anger towards someone or something. You know, as a psychology professor, I have to say that hate is probably the most intense emotion because it can be so purely destructive, especially when you are trying to work with energy to increase your vibrational frequencies so that you can work with energy to create the future that you want to face, so that your life finally starts falling into place as opposed to out of place. So one of the main reasons that hate must be addressed for the LEP frequency tool is that hate often tends to have people hold on to unnecessary baggage, the heaviness, the burdens, you know, all the unjustified acts that you feel that might have been done to you. All of these things are lower energies, and they are destructive in that they lower your vibrational frequencies. So hate must be addressed in order for you to effectively use the LEP frequency tool so that you can vibrate higher. And it must be addressed because when I say that it is destructive, for example, the intense feelings that you have about someone, that you think that a bad person who is doing something wrong or something bad, and then you wish that, you know, bad things start happening to them. Even though you're coming from a good place, you really are causing yourself harm because you're working with the energy of hate. You know, you have to be able to control this because anytime you wish another person ill will, that is energy that you are sending into the universe, and that is the exact energy that you are going to get in return. Again, due to the law of karma, okay, that will balance the energies so you don't have to worry about it. Just focus on coming from a good place and not wishing anyone ill will. So do not hate, stay calm, because due to the law of attraction and its secondary, you know, the law of vibration and secondary laws of attraction, and really, you know, polarity, anything that you send out, you will get back in return. It's just basic law of physics. You know, it's a sure thing that will happen. Okay, so that is how energy works. Any energy that you send out will be returned to you. So you have to stay calm and realize that you are vibrating higher. Just the fact that you are aware of the fact that you should not have hate within you already lifts you to a higher vibrational frequency. So even that awareness assists you of not holding on to hate, of releasing all of the energy of hate. So release hate and focus on the fact that, you know, all deeds will be righted by karma. It is not up to you to right them. Karma will right the wrong deeds. You just follow your own moral compass, you know, your ethics, who you are, ensure that you are happy, and you don't go down any vibrational frequencies that can lower your frequencies, such as hate, because that is an extremely intense discordant energy, something that you really have to stay away from, because it decreases your mental and emotional consciousness, you know, which greatly affects your overall vibration and your ability to create. Again, please go back and look at all of my segments. They can be found on YouTube, Dr. Phenomenon, or on podcast, on Podbeam. Get the book on www.lepeducation.com. Wealth of material, and you will be able to harness power, and you'll be able to start using energy. You will be able to create within your mind, within your consciousness, desires, and bring them forth into your physical reality. But in order for that to happen, you have to vibrate higher. You have to be prepared to you have to be in a higher frequency in order to receive that higher frequency. So you have to let hate out of your heart, out of your mind, and anywhere within you, completely, because it will drag you down, and it will bring you back into the lack and survival energies, where your power and really your consciousness level is greatly decreased. And when you are in low energies, that's exactly what happens. Your consciousness levels, your consciousness energies are greatly decreased. So problems or solutions to problems are much harder to come by. Things just won't come to you. Everything is a challenge. So if you rise out of the low vibrational frequencies and get, you know, release hate and all that baggage and shift it to a higher vibration so that you can receive higher energies, okay, you will be able to increase your vibrational frequency and create that which is in your physical consciousness into your physical reality, because you are now lighter. You don't have that baggage. Okay, you are now you don't have that, and you don't have that baggage, that heaviness around you, which causes great mental and emotional discord. And really, that's where hate comes from. And by the way, hate calibrates at I think it's the amps of between 150 and 174. Amplitude of 150 to 174, 175. I think it's right around there. But anything below 200 is really a lack of expression and power, and you are living in a lower vibrational frequency. So calibration is really defined as, you know, just a range of volumes that it corresponds to attitudes and emotions, locations, really by specific attractor energy fields. Now, I know that sounds very like scientific and confusing, but it basically means that emotions are assigned specific energy levels, such as hate, of a certain vibration. And that is not it's not a math calculation. You know, it's not that is not how it calibrates. Figures are not calibration figures of energy are not calibrated like math. But any increase in vibration, you will see an advancement of power, meaning that you are lifting out of the higher hate energies. And once you completely release them, again, like I said before, you are going to vibrate in a higher energy, and that means more power is more available to you. To rise above hate to higher frequencies, you must control the outer and inner domains, and purge yourself of all hate. Replace them by favorable higher energies. You know, there's a rainbow in everything, and there's something good in everyone. There's something good in everyone. So if you are having trouble releasing hate, find that something good in someone. Whether that's, yes, they're a speck of God, or they're a part of God and they must be forgiven, or look at the situation differently. Because if you change the way you look at something, what you look at changes. So if you don't look at something through hateful eyes, even though in your eyes that it may be well deserved, okay? But if you change the way you look at something, what you look at changes. And that is how you are going to rise from hate frequencies, low frequencies, into higher frequencies. And that's going to require, a little discipline. But when you refuse to qualify hate in your life, you will find that disturbances and that heaviness will quickly be lifted from your life. People will not be able to push your buttons because you will be able to rise above all that. Because that's a low energy. And once you're in a high vibration, you don't respond to lower energies. It takes a lot more to push your buttons. You exhibit a lot more patience. With every increase of energy levels, and when you look at the LEP frequency tool, you will see, the different levels that you're working with: mental, emotional, physical, sensory, spiritual levels, because they all have to vibrate high in order for you to have a collective higher vibrational frequency, so that you can start creating the future that you want to face through expanded consciousness. So problems just come to you, okay? Answers to problems just come to you. And when problems come to you, by the way, you will be able to completely, control them and really balance any outer discordant energies, and you will be able to use your power to resolve them. So when problems come to you, you will use that as an opportunity to just practice your power when you're in a higher energy. They are not going to unnerve you. They're not going to unsettle you. It'll just be discordant energy that needs to be managed, which you will do so very easily. So, and especially if you are looking at a hateful situation, or you think that, another person deserves that kind of energy from you, just remember this, that higher energies breed compassion and kindness. And it is by letting go of judgments and criticism, okay, whether you believe it's justified or not, or righteous or not, releasing all of that releases all kinds of patterns of guilt, regret. Just, you will be guided by a higher energy. Because again, when you are releasing hatred, you are vibrating higher, and you are getting an expansion of consciousness, which is why, which is so interesting, because when you are vibrating at a higher level, there is no hate in higher consciousness, because hate is a discordant energy. It is a human construct, okay? It's not possible to have hate in higher energies if you are vibrating in a higher frequency, because you will repel any lower frequencies of which hate vibrates in. So you may not like what the person is doing. You may not agree with them, accept them. You may not approve, but you are not going to hate them when you are living in a high frequency, because it is impossible to have a selfish desire or a hateful thought or intent towards anyone when you are living in a high frequency, especially in a connection consciousness. So you are so anchored and fortified in that high energy that any sense of lower energy will be immediately repelled by you. You fully understand that lower energies are for you to control, and you can go ahead and do that. So once again, that's keep the attention on the fact that, compassion, love, kindness, anytime you have trouble releasing, always look for the good in something or someone. Look for that, because you will be able to find it. And if all else fails, look for that good, that one aspect, or even that you are aware of this. And because you are making the effort, you are now raising yourself in vibrations and increasing your power, should be enough for you to let go of hate. Because ultimately, it is your life and your future here on this planet, not some energy of hate that should be disturbing your life, that you should be focused on. Okay, and using using positive energy, using high energies in order to create, instead of low energies like hate, so that you are decreasing your power. Remember, you are the determiner of the qualities that appear in your life. If you hold hate in your heart, whether you feel it's justified or not, again, due to the law of attraction and vibration, hate will latch back onto you. The energies of hate will latch right back onto you. And you are going to experience its discordant effects. So be aware of that fact often, and guard against the slightest emotion that may create hate within you. Transmute it into a higher energies immediately. And if all else fails, ask the violet flame. Ask the violet flame to release you from the hate energies. For those of you who have missed the violet violet energy segments, please tune in. You can use the violet energy for anything. You can focus and direct it. It transmutes negative energies into positive energies. It can absolutely release you of baggage. And it does it without the law of karma. In other words, outside of the law of karma, meaning that when you use the violet energy, which is the purest energy, that is why it's so effective. It's the purest energy because it has the shortest wavelength. That means it's closest to the source consciousness on the color spectrum. That means it is the most powerful. It's the closest to God. And it's the same energy that God uses for creation. So, use that energy if you need to, and go back to my segments, find the segments on the violet energy, and use it to eliminate all hate in your life if you can't do it yourself within the current moment. Okay, because you will need to do that. And it's so easy, to get pulled into hate energies, because everything's a vibration. We're all vibrations, and we all use that same energy, to create. And it's so easy to get pulled into hate energies because sometimes we get caught unawares when we are unguarded, and we react instead of responding. And then once we get caught in the confusion, and the mental and emotional aspects kick in, because don't forget, the mental and emotional aspects are the key players here, because thoughts create images. Images create feelings, and feelings create action. Okay, that's where we get into trouble. Our behavior changes, our patterns of behavior changes, our attitude changes. Okay, we do things physically that we might not want to because we are in a low energy of hate. So remember this: thoughts create images, images create feelings, and feelings create action. Okay, and the feelings, that's when you get triggered into where do you live? How do you live? In the lack and survival energies, the lowest energies, or in the higher energies? Dedication energy, absorption energy, connection energy. If you had missed those segments, please go back and catch up. You will need to know them for the LEP frequency tools, that you can use it effectively and create the changes you want, and bring thought forms from your consciousness into physical reality with much greater speed, because now you can work with the LEP frequency tool. So absolutely go back to all of the segments if you've missed them, because again, it's so easy to get pulled into hate energies, and you want to remain in a higher mental and emotional state. That's how you are going to be able to not absorb the low energies of hate, and you'll be able to release any hate energies that you have in your current energy fields. So whenever you feel hate, just immediately reverse the negative action towards it in the mental realm and feeling. Okay, and don't forget the images. Substitute positive image. Concerning it, because you're doing yourself a favor. And because you are doing yourself a favor, this is what's raising you into high frequencies. And without hate in your life, you're going to feel a lot lighter and happier, and draw only good to you. So today's topic was about hate and how you need to release hate on the mental, emotional, and physical and sensory levels. Release it completely out of your consciousness so that you can raise into a higher frequency. Okay? And create the future that you want to face. Again, the topic was on hate. Please check me out on www.lepeducation.com, and may only good come to you. Namaste.